Recording in progress. Hey, welcome back. I've noticed I named this little list on my YouTube page 6 minutes to enlightenment, and it's amazing how I can hit 6 minutes without thinking about it with my pea-sized brain. And how can I not talk about this morning, you guys? Weather channel on my phone says, weather alert, it says run for your lives with your hands up in the air first. It says that. And then it says, a strong thunderstorm will impact portions of Contra Costa through 7:45 a.m. PST. Trained weather spotters reported a strong thunderstorm over Clayton, moving along northeast at 40 miles an hour. So I bet you're experiencing it. And so what is thunder and lightning? Well, third grade weather class again. And so thunder and lightning, thunderstorms are caused by convection. It's hot and cold weather, air currents running into one another, and it creates a cycle, a spinning, a convection, a compression. And then, of course, you get the thunderclouds. If you're from the Midwest, you know thunderclouds, the big puffy ones that go up 40, 50,000 feet, and they hammer head out when they reach a particular strata of air. But underneath it, it gets pretty bumpy, doesn't it? And isn't that just so much like our consciousness? And we have all these cross currents running into one another, and they create convection, and they create compression and turbulence. And what are all these currents that are running into one another down here? Well, people, places, and things. Everybody's got their own ideas. Everybody's going a different direction. Things bump into each other, opinions, ideas, and convection, and then thunderstorms, and then thunder and lightning and rumbling and disturbance. And if we're always living at that level, life is pretty damn turbulent. And it reminds me, I was watching a history channel about the history of aviation. In the 50s, aviation really began to take off. They developed larger 4-engine aircraft, but they were propeller driven, and they could only really fly at about 20,000 feet. And at that level, there's a lot more thunder activity and clouds and weather to avoid. And back in those days, they didn't have the Doppler radar. They had some radar, but it was very archaic. And you know what pilots did? They flew by the seat of their pants. And these were all World War II pilots. These were some good damn pilots, man. And they could steer around thunderclouds, and they had the right stuff. They could get on the intercom and tell all the people in the back, Ozzie and Harriet in the back, and they could tell them, you know, everything's going to be okay because I know how to steer through these things. And they had that voice that would calm you down. Nowadays, modern jets fly at 35 to 40,000 feet. It might be a little bumpy going up through the crispy air, but when you get to the taller air, it's unlikely you're going to run into very much turbulence. Maybe a little bit. There's something called clear air turbulence, but I digress. The main thing is, where are we going to live? What strata of consciousness are we going to live in? The strata where all the currents are running into one another. You know what happens when currents of water run into one another? There's froth and foam and eddies, and the water does crazy things, and the little bark boats are flipped upside down. But if you go down deep into the water, or you rise way up into the air, you come to this smooth, perfect air, this smooth, perfect water that is infinitely calm. And it doesn't mean the turbulence is not going on. In fact, a little bit of turbulence is fun. Have you ever gotten on a roller coaster that just remained perfectly flat the whole time? Oh my God, that would be so boring. You like to go up and down, you like to go whipping around corners. And as long as you have the right attitude, we are here for fun, you guys. We are here for joy. Of course, we're here to learn lessons and to grow and to evolve, but the gosh darn ride should be fun. And the captain is here at the front of the plane saying, everything's going to be okay, you guys. I know how to steer around these things. The captain is always in charge. Everything's going to be okay. Enjoy the ride. Just make sure for 20 minutes a day, you rise to the place above the turbulence, above the colliding currents, where everything is pure peace. And then the ride is not scary. The ride is fun as you go careening around the corners with your friends. Have a beautiful day. Tomorrow is Friday. We'll talk about this week, and see you next time.